The landing area is prepared, but before the steel can be raised, it must be laid out accurately. This is done by coordinating the Virtual Design and Construction System, or VDC, with the crews in the field via satellite.
Today, we're basically setting targets on steel. The steel is going to be the skeleton of the building. This has to be dead on for everything to work. We have a model, a three-dimensional model that we have created that has all the assembly pieces of the steel and just some rough coordinates on where they want to place them. So what they do is they place them on the ground, they assemble the pieces and make sure that they all fit and everything's square. And then from there, they take them with the crane and pick them up.
Using the bullseyes attached to each piece of steel and a known point set in the ground, GPS allows the crew to accurately know when each piece is correctly aligned.
Of course, when you pick it up with the crane, you're going to have a little bit of shifting, a little bit of movement. But what we want to do is tighten up as best as possible on the ground, and that way we have as little work as possible once we get it up in the air and in the stadium. I mean, really, the best thing we want to do is just pick it up and drop it on the bolts and weld it. And so this is a big part of it because by putting these points on the ground and then laying the steel on top of it, it allows us to get a visual of where that steel needs to go in and out and how the Legos are all going to fit together.
This particular lift ticket is going to be for the first truss column of 4211. Total weight of 113,400 pounds. Crane capacity is good for 108,000 pounds. Percentage of that chart is going to be at 76.81%. Once this is over, Bo will take his crew, they'll hook to the assembly, they'll start standing it up. Once it's stood up in a vertical position, he'll hold it about a foot off the top of those mats and verify the weight. Once the weight's verified, we're good. He'll sit it down on ground on dunnage, and there's a temporary shoe that makes those columns the same elevation in order to stand it up correctly without getting the center of gravity off. That shoe will be removed. Then once that's all done, go ahead and hoist it into position.